2, 1. We are live. What up, what up, what up, players? It's that time, and it's time to play the game. You know what it is.
Yes, sir.
We're live.
What up? Let me just
it's broadcast a live link.
Okay. Yes. Oh, where is it? Oh, here we go.
Oh man, is my camera playing up? If it is, it's gonna have to be one of them. All right.
2022, 2023 Market Outlook and BIS market review.
Ridz. Yeah.
Boom. Uh-oh. That is definitely not the link. Let me post the link. Clipboard, Zoom link. Bam.
Boom, 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 boom.
Okay, let me put it in the groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Hey, because of the YouTube live, I see some YouTube live locked in. You know we love you too.
Whoa, there's loads of new people today.
Yeah, that's why we need guests, man. Okay, so yeah. So what I said off air to Mr. Hardin and Dom was moving forward, we're gonna attempt to have a guest every single the game and NFT Fridays. Obviously, there'll be some weeks where naturally a guest will be unavailable, and we want the crowd, our community, to ask us for certain guests back that they favor. So it's like a battle. It's like a battle of the guests. Which guest got the most game? Because you know we got game.
Because this is the game.
This is the game. So we want the Spartans. That's why today I gave my man's Ridz the opportunity, because he's a bit of a Spartan. He's if anyone is familiar with, do you mind making me co-host?
Yep. Also, we need a catchphrase. We need something that we start every episode with. Like a little time to tune into the game, learn to play or get played.
I hear it.
Something like that.
So, big ups to our friend novelist doing his thing. Anyone who's seen this GRM Daily, there is a bar which novelist says in this, and don't quote me on the exact bar, but he said something alongside of, "I know a granddaddy's 31."
We in the house.
That granddad is Ridz.
We in the house.
For my grime fans, what's that classic grime concept that you're in?
Oh, P2J Project Hands in the Air, an old school one.
P2J Project Hands in the Air. Yeah, we're talking Channel U. You've seen this? That's him right there.
We was outside, man.
He was outside, and now he's here in the metaverse inside.
In the metaverse.
I remember
yes.
I remember this video.
That's Ridz right there.
Good times. Man, good
You
times.
feel me? So without further ado, you think we should get the show started, Mr. Harden? You ready? You ready with the news after I do the disclaimer, etc.?
Yeah. Fire away, bro.
Okay, let's go. So first of all, welcome everybody inside the room, inside Zoom, and or inside YouTube or inside the replay. Welcome to another episode of the game. I apologize if my video camera lags. I don't know what's going on. This is a new laptop. So it is what it is, but everyone can hear my voice loud and clear, I hope. It is currently 6 minutes past 8 p.m. UK time, Monday, the 2nd of January 2023. Welcome to the first ever The Game 2023 episode. The game has been running since July 2020. Every single Monday, 8 p.m. to 9:30 UK time, we do a free weekly Zoom webinar covering everything stocks, crypto, macroeconomics, technical analysis, and beyond with special guests. If you'd like to come to this webinar, register your free tickets in the blockchain.sensei Instagram bio. You click on the link tree in the blockchain.sensei Instagram bio, and then you will be sent a Eventbrite Zoom link, same Zoom link every Monday, 8 p.m. to 9:30. Also, same Zoom link for the Fridays, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. NFT Fridays. Today's special guest, we have Ridz Rhule, which we will introduce after going over some news, and of course, the very, very important disclaimer. So let's get the disclaimer out the way real quick, because we don't want to be sued. We don't want to do, nobody do any suing. That's not what we want.
Suey. Okay.
Disclaimer, terms and conditions. All content is for education, information, and entertainment purposes only, and should not be considered as investment advice or recommendation to buy, sell, hold any assets, nor place any trades. In fact, let me just go live on the IG for a second. One second. Let me just, I should have parked that up like 5 minutes ago, my bad. Live now on Zoom with Ridz. Click the story Zoom link in last IG story. Okay, cool. We live. Boom. All right then. All righty. Okay. So, oh, 1 second. Oh, 1 second, guys. The phone has dropped. And we're back. 1 second. I'm just parking up the IG. Let me pin that comment. All right, we're back. All content is for education, information, and entertainment purposes only, and should not be considered as investment advice or a recommendation to buy, sell, hold any assets, nor place any trades. Please always do your own research. Our content is intended and should only be used for informational use only. It is very important to do your own analysis before making any investments, which should be based on your own individual circumstances. Pay your rent, pay your child support, pay your phone bill before investing in crypto. You should always take independent professional advice from a professional advisor. Any professional advisors in this room?
Nope. Speak now or forever hold your peace.
All right. Or independently research and verify all and any information you may find in our show that you wish to rely upon, whether you wish to make an investment decision or otherwise. All investments come with what, guys?
Risk.
So please do your own research. We are not financial advisors and do not intend to be perceived or received as a financial advisor, because if I was a financial advisor, I would say financial advisor, not financial advisor. However, we are working in collaboration with several accredited advisors. If you are unable to mitigate your risk, please contact us immediately, send us an email, or you can tweet us or DM us on Instagram so we can refer you to an accredited financial advisor. Before we get into it, so this is basically how we'll divide this webinar. Mr. Harding will do some initial news. You good with the news, or you want me to do the report first and then you do the news?
Nah, I'll do the news. But whilst I'm doing the news, can you update with a new bit of news, which is the new AI workshop that we're dropping fresh for 2022? We actually, Ninja, you threw out a throwback. Yeah, you sent me a throwback today, and our first episode of January 2022 was us discussing AI, and I was like, yeah, it was one of our first episodes of 2022. So it's mad that a year later we've now got a like a workshop / lesson. We haven't figured out the prices yet, but anyone that messages the blockchain Sensei, we're going to put a post up right now, and anyone that tags the word #AI on that post will get that lesson and access to 10 different AI protocols that can change your business forever for just £50. Now, after this lesson is going to be minimum £100, potentially £150, because this is game that when I mean this AI game that we're about to drop, there's no coming back, like zero. Like it's not even a competition. I'm going to show you just a snippet of one of the things that we've done on it. Which one should I show? Should I show the
snippet, dog?
I'll show the little teaser trailer video one, because people like that one. Give us a sec, guys. Let me just load it up. I wasn't even expecting to do this. They're just gone off the hook a little bit here. Let me just find it. And Ninja, if you just post that, you know what I'm talking about?
No.
You don't know what I'm talking about?
Are we talking about the IG post?
Yeah. I read it and it says AI on it now. It says DM.
What is it? Is it posted, or you want me to post it?
I want you to post it so that people can comment on it. All right,
okay, cool. I'm on IG Live, so I'll have to get off.
Oh, okay. Don't do it now. Do it at the end of the show then. And it'll be there for people. All right, cool. So everyone can see the screen, yeah? This is just one of the tools that we're going to be showing people how to use. This is an AI content and video maker. So this person isn't real.
This ad is made with AI, and it's only getting more powerful. Unlock your potential in 2023. Don't get replaced. Instead, optimize efficiency with the power of artificial intelligence. Register now.
So the key is with these AI tools is you've got to know how to make them work with each other. So this whole script, I used the AI to make. The whole video was made by an AI. The choosing of the voices was made by an AI. The adverts were made by an AI. Put them all together, bam. So yeah, that's what we're dealing with. We're getting you ready. So news and updates. Obviously, last week these guys we started diving into the Masari paper. As you know, that paper is a beast, so it's going to take a while to get through all of that paper. One of the things we do want to highlight is some of our highlights from the last year. Our design team was responsible for creating these exclusive limited edition kits that are available on FIFA 2022 with Art of Football. Here's some of our design work. We also do digital renders and design work, as you can see. Whatever you're after, let us know, because we're also capable of doing clothing stuff. Now, in terms of news, what's crack-a-lacking? Oh yeah, look at that. Another company that said that crypto is bad. HSBC have now filed a patent for NFT and metaverse and crypto-related stuff, including exchanges and stuff like that. Fidelity is also filed for a metaverse and NFT trademarks. 8coin DAO elects its new special members, which Ninja went over the other day in his webinar on NFT Fridays. And in regards to things that have been happening in the world this week, so Binance has added Google Pay and Apple Pay as payment options. I saw the raised eyebrows there, like, raw.
Yeah, it's massive. That's actually massive.
Raw.
To the contrary of everyone thinking Binance was gonna go under.
Nah,
and they you know,
if Binance goes under, that's China out of the crypto game altogether. There is no way China are gonna let America run this whole crypto game.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
You would have to. That would have to mean that the Chinese think that the Americans are stupid for getting into crypto, and it would also have to mean that the Chinese are not interested in digital currencies when they've got a central bank digital currency
and been running it for how long now?
It just doesn't make any sense. So there was no way, like, if there's two companies that are guaranteed to either get taken private or bailed out, are Binance and Coinbase, because they are geopolitical assets. That's what they are. Like, the American government cannot afford to lose Coinbase. Like, they can't. Not at all. So it's not going nowhere. The only place it's going is private.
Wait, let me just say that one. Let me let the people hear that one more time. The American government needs Coinbase.
Yep.
I agree.
If they lose it, they lose one of the best chess pieces on the game, on the board. Bro, you know the facts, bro. You hit him with the facts, bro. How much crypto have Coinbase got, bro?
According to one of the Coinbase representatives in Congress, this was a video which I watched in early 2022/late 2021. Again, a representative from Coinbase said in Congress that out of the top cryptos, Coinbase own about 12% of all those top cryptos. 98% of Coinbase's supplies in cold storage.
Mad. They also own Grayscales. They hold all of Grayscale's money. They also hold
super whales, mega whales. Like, it's different. It is different.
If they go down, that's
they can't though. They can't. They're on the stock market, so they'll be able to rehypothecate shares and dividends and draw liquidity for infinity. And that was their chess move.
Now I'm going to put something out there that I read in the Masari paper that is controversial, and I'm praying it doesn't happen. But there is potential, because I've just seen it happen. It's happening with Core Scientific. So we saw Core Scientific in the BlackRock blockchain ETF. It's getting absolutely pummeled. It's the world's largest Bitcoin miner, and it's looking like it's about to go private and it's not going to be public anymore. Surprise. Now, if that's happened there, it kind of causes a bit of a debate on the decentralization of Bitcoin. It does, whether we like it or not. Now, then,
very true.
If that also happens with Coinbase and Coinbase gets taken private, that's
very true again.
That's
it's back to the Wild West.
Yep. We're back, like we were free for a hot minute, and then it all got taken back again. That's what will happen there. So let's see what happens with that one. It's one of them ones. Other news, MicroStrategy has launched software apps powered by Bitcoin Lightning. Those of you that are familiar with Coin Mode that we demonstrated at the P2E event, they use the Lightning network, and this allows for instantaneous transactions of Bitcoin using advancements to the Bitcoin network, which I think is going to cause a lot of disruption for a lot of tokens, because a lot of tokens won't need to exist, because you'll just be able to do it on the Bitcoin Lightning network, and people trust Bitcoin more than they trust anything else. And then converting it to fiat, people will be able to have the speed of crypto, but in fiat. So again, it's going to be a massive disruptor, the Lightning network. So watch out for that. BMW taps CoinWeb and BNB chain from blockchain loyalty program. We done told you about BMW, you know. Don't fall from when they dropped that i8 car. I was like, nah, this was about almost 10 years ago they dropped that car. I was like, these men are not playing. Like, people are watching Tesla, but you need to watch out for BMW. I want everyone to search Digital Twin Factories BMW. They already have a full working metaverse version of their factories that they use AI to move machine parts around in the metaverse to optimize it and get the maximum efficiency, and then go and do it in the real world after. So watch out for this company. Watch out.
And that is the benefits of AI, guys.
Yep, saving money, saving time, whether you like it or not.
Efficiency. It's gonna happen.
Jobs getting slashed.
It's happening.
So next, FBI is reportedly investigating Free.com's API leak. Interesting. And FTX's owned Liquid announces plans to return customer funds. Well, yeah, kind of being as this guy is getting away with absolute murder. MicroStrategy are increasing their Bitcoin holdings by 2,500 Bitcoin. So, look, there's two people in life that I need to follow what they're doing. One of them is Michael Saylor. This guy seems to know when the bottom is in every time. And then the other one is Jim Cramer. Whatever Jim Cramer says, do the opposite. Again, I want you to
go follow Jim.
Go and Google Jim Cramer and go and see the things when he says to buy them. Guess what happens? They go down. When he says to go and sell them, guess what happens? They go up. so go and watch Jim Cramer on CNBC. People love him in America. They think he's amazing, but his actual track record, when you actually deep it, is actually pretty wild. So yeah, Sam Bankman-Fried. I'm tired of talking about this guy. I don't want to give him any more airtime. Argo blockchain will avoid bankruptcy with 100 million bailout from Galaxy Digital. And again, who's Argo blockchain? The UK's largest public miner. So they don't just mine Bitcoin, they also mine Ethereum. Well, the Ethereum, the original Ethereum, and other proof of work blockchains. So what's great about this company is we can go and get its earnings report and we can dive through it. And one day we might even have Argo blockchain on the show. This was one of our biggest gainers in the lockdown. I think some people in our team made like 15 X's on this one, and that's a stock. So there is stocks that do more than crypto.
That's crazy. That's crazy for a stock.
Yeah, man. And investors sue Gemini, the Winklevoss twins, over high yield products. And then China to launch the first national digital asset marketplace. So You know what that means? That means properties are about to start getting sold on the blockchain. And again, if they're doing this, do you think China is not? I'm done.
Leading the way, man. It's just leading the way. As
they're leading the way. They're ahead of everybody. Everything you've seen happening in China is going to happen in the UK and in the West eventually. That's all it is. So this, again, make sure you take note of these projects. Not
financial advice, but pay attention to the top three, I'd say definitely.
Yeah, man, 100. Because we have to understand, if you're investing in crypto, you are investing in a business. Now, for it to be a business, it has to have revenue. How do most of these blockchains get revenue? From users, from transactions, from smart contracts. So if it's got none of them running and it's not making any P, where's what you investing in? Whereas right here, we can see right now, the growth on Binance is 86% growth this year. It's got 126 million unique addresses, which is impressive. Ethereum has 183 million unique addresses. However, its increase is only by 19%. Then we got Polygon, Tron, Phantom, Algorand, Nia, Flow, which we keep banging on about, Avalanche, Celo, Cardano, Aptos, Arbitrum, Optimism, and Multiverse X. Now, one that's not on there, there's some crazy stuff's been happening in the background, is Filecoin. Again, we keep banging on about Filecoin. Go and do your own research on Filecoin. So the top 10 most popular cryptos of 2022, Bitcoin, obviously, the GOAT is always there. Solana. Now, a lot of people are writing Solana off. I wrote Solana off last year. I've never been a fan of Solana, but now I'm doing more reading. I'm looking more into it. And I think something might happen with Solana. I think it's a dark horse. It's not, the last cycle wasn't its run. I think Solana's going to do the same kind of thing as Litecoin, where like it just kind of, it falls off to the side and no one's really interested in it, but it does some mad gains and has some mad utility. So watch out for them. Steppen obviously was crazily popular, and it's actually still up 49%, which is massive in comparison to most of the stock market, which is crazy. When you think crazy like that. Nia Protocol again is in 4th place. Then we have Ethereum, BNB, Polygon, Dogecoin, Polkadot, Cardano. You might be seeing some familiar things pop up here. And quite interestingly, year-to-date performance, Dogecoin's actually only down 58%, which is very interesting. So top gainers in December 2022. And again, if you look at some of these gainers in comparison to what's happening on the stock market, it's wild. Like, there's things doing 18% in a month. There's things doing 72% in a month. So again, go and do your own research on these. We're not recommending any of these things. Just go and do your own research. So that is the news. I think that's everything, right, Ninja?
Yeah, as long as make sure you comment, you tag Earn Your Leisure and maybe other members of Earn Your Leisure, such as 90 Keys and Rashad, in the comment section to help us get closer to a milestone, which is to collaborate with EYL some way, somehow.
Yeah, man. Love. All right, cool. Over to you, Broski.
Okay, so I'm just going to go over a little highlight. So, surfing the web. They say you are what you eat. Another thing you should consider is you are what you consume. So this has been today's crypto consumption. Now, thanks to Coin Bureau, he led me in the direction of this pretty institutional, I would say. Like, this is definitely a report for institutions. So this is a report by the Basel Committee on Banking Supervision, also known as BIS. And this is a report they did in December 2020 titled Prudential Treatment of Crypto Asset Exposures. Now, before we get into this, let's just quickly understand who BIS are. Let's just quickly look at their mission statement. So their mission statement is to support central banks' pursuit of monetary and financial stability through international cooperation and to act as a bank for central banks.
Big fish to big fish.
Yeah, the big fish of the big fish. So we've got high street banks, right? But then central banks would be like the Bank of England. So they want to be the big banks of the big banks. To pursue our mission, we provide central banks with, so not as far as I'm aware, not like Monzo or Starling, because they wouldn't be central banks. More like HSBC. A forum for dialogue and broad international cooperation, a platform for responsible innovation and knowledge sharing, in-depth analysis and insights on core policy issues and sound and competitive financial services. I've actually noticed that financial services is probably one of the most broad terms in all financial services, because it basically means we can do anything. To deliver on our mission, our work is anchored in strong core values that shape in the way in which we work. Okay, that's basically what everyone else says. So, what's interesting about this report is the majority of this report is absolute jargon that means absolutely nothing. So most of the value of this entire report starts here on page 5, and you won't believe this when it ends. It's so quick. The value basically ends around here. And then you've just basically got 26 pages of footnotes. And I know somewhere within these footnotes, somewhere within these footnotes, for somebody who's extremely high level in, let's say, corporate tax and legislation and law, may find gems. I'll be completely honest with you guys. 7 years in crypto, and most of this doesn't mean shit. So if anybody would like to read this report, as I said, 80% of the value, at least for the average crypto person to intermediate, like, I definitely want somebody like St. Jerome to break this stuff down. But yeah, as you can see, I thought I'd just show you quickly. Most of it is complete technical jargon that seldom means absolutely nothing, and the value is literally at the start. So that's basically why we're only looking at the first bit, because that's where the value lies, from page 5 to 10. Okay, so prudential treatment of crypto asset exposures. Introduction. In June 2022, that's my birthday, 27th birthday, the Basel Committee on Banking Supervision issued a second consultation on the prudential treatment of banks' exposures to crypto assets. Now, mind you, according to current research, which was basically today, and what Coin Bureau said, these guys do not run central banks. Central banks, they don't have authority over central banks, but they are a respected centralized place for central banks to act upon some information and research, not financial advice. You get it? So we're basically listening to the advisors of central banks right now. Okay, which we can apply to our own portfolios. After considering the feedback from stakeholders to the consultation, the committee has now finalized its prudential standard, which has been endorsed by the committee's oversight body, blah, blah, blah. This document sets out the final standard which the committee has agreed to implement by the 1st of January 2025, of which we predict there is going to be some kind of bull run between now and then. Right, the text will be incorporated into the consolidated Basel framework shortly. Set out below is a short summary of the structure. Okay. So structure is standard now. I want everyone to take their pens and pads, because they have put cryptos in certain groups and categories. So it's worth understanding this, because a lot of banks, a lot of central banks are going to follow the advice of BIS. So the structure of the standard is unchanged from the proposal set out in the second consultation. Under the standard, banks are required to classify crypto assets on an ongoing basis in two groups. Group 1, crypto assets, those that meet in full a set of classification conditions. Group 1 assets include tokenized traditional assets, Group 1A, and crypto assets with effective stabilization mechanisms, Group 1B. Group 1 crypto assets are subject to capital requirements based on the risk weights of underlying exposures as set out in the existing Basel framework. Group 2 crypto assets, those that fail to meet any classification conditions as a result. So, things including but not limited to the FTT coin. As a result, they pose additional higher risk compared to Group 1 crypto assets, and consequently are subject to newly prescribed conservative capital treatment, in addition to any tokenized traditional asset and stable coins that fail the classification conditions, UST. Group 2 includes all unbacked crypto assets, UST. A set of hedging recognition criteria is used to identify those Group 2 crypto assets where limited degrees of hedging is permitted. So infrastructure risk add-on, and add on to the risk-weighted assets, RWA. Do you know what's funny? I actually use RWA for real-world use case, but that's just like my own acronym / in blockchain Sensei. But apparently, according to the advisors of central banks, they use RWA as a risk-weighted asset. So it's worth noting the RWA may not always mean real-world application, which I literally always use it as, but could be defined as risk-weighted assets. To cover infrastructure risk for Group 1 crypto assets, the authorities can activate based on any observed weakness. So you're basically saying that the authorities can do everything, of course, because they can just change their mind. Very helpful. Redemption risk test and supervision regulation requirement. This test and requirement must be met for stable coins to be eligible for inclusion in Group 1. So we want to start having a look at which banks, central banks in the near future, start classifying cryptos as Group 1 crypto assets, of which I'm highly assuming Bitcoin, for example, is going to be there, of which public announcement, as I average down, as Wall Street Trap likes to say, into my portfolio, I'm moving Bitcoin as pretty much towards half my position in terms of fiat value of current portfolio, because it's going to be a winter. This testing requirement must be met for stablecoins. Cool. Group 2 exposure limit. A bank's total exposure to Group 2 crypto assets must not exceed 2% of the bank's Tier 1 capital and should generally be lower than 1%. Banks breaching the 1% limit will apply the more conservative Group 2B capital treatment to the amount by which the limit is exceeded. Breaching the 2% limit will result in the whole Group 2 exposures being subject to Group 2B capital treatment. Oh, you want to be on the right side of BIS. Other elements of standard include descriptions of how operational risk, liquidity, leverage ratio, etc. Group 1 meets classifications. Group 2 does not meet classifications. Tokenized traditional assets, stable coins. Tokenized traditional assets, stable coins, unbacked cryptos. Infrastructure risk add-on. In the second consultation, the add-on for infrastructure risk was proposed as fixed add-on to the RWA. RWA, again, not real-world application, but risk-weighted assets. Set at 2.5% of the exposure value for Group 1 crypto assets. The committee agreed to replace this with a more flexible approach to allow authorities, governments, to initiate and increase an add-on based on any observed weakness in the infrastructure. So basically, the government can do anything they want, as they have always done and will forever do. We won't go into this. Let's just get some highlights. Permissionless blockchains. The committee will continue to reflect on whether the risk posed by crypto assets to use permissionless blockchains can be sufficiently mitigated to allow for their inclusion Group 1. So again, they're basically saying the government can do and higher powers can do anything they want. Collaboration of Group 2 exposure limit. The Group 2 exposure limit is based on thresholds set at 1 to 2% of banks' Tier 1 capital. We know that banks, a lot of them don't have much Tier 1 capital because they just borrow money all the time. These thresholds aim to safeguard the banking sector against potentially significant risk posed by Group 2 crypto assets. Okay, and then it starts to move on to absolute technical jargon. So the biggest takeaway from that is
big banks
one of the most respected centralized places where central banks get some of their information on have basically said in their report, we recommend you do 1 to 2%. If you don't, we're going to put you in our bad books. We might push it to 2.5%. Anything further than that, then you might be in our bad books and we'll do less favors for you. And iterating again that essentially governments can do what they want. But if you look at 2% of the fiat currency money supply,
GDP, 3 trillion, 2% of 3 trillion, what's that?
Yeah, I mean, the entire money supply is going on to 100 trillion, so that's around 2 trillion. So it's not an insane pump for crypto, considering that we got to 3 trillion, but I do believe that...
I disagree. I completely disagree.
Go on.
Completely disagree. So there's an image that we share once a year from ARK Invest that they put out. I'm gonna try and find it now. Let me just find it. And it was on our Twitter as our home screen thing, as our pinned thing. I'm just gonna share it now. I found it. So this is a stat that ARK Invest put out about 2.5 years ago, and this is based on the 1% allocation from high net worth individuals, mass affluent, pension funds. We've seen all those get into crypto, and then 1% from insurance companies, which we've seen happen now, and 1% from sovereign wealth funds will push Bitcoin's price to around 100K. So, and from what you're saying, the BIS is saying if you don't have 1% allocation to Bitcoin, we ain't messing with you. That's what I read from that paper.
But they're trying to limit it so you can't have more than 2.
More than 2.
Which is interesting because the next wave is 2.55, as you can see here, because that would push Bitcoin to 300K, which would be too brazy and would be too much. And now, on top of that, that also fits in with this, something that was in the BlackRock report. They're saying that the 60-40 plan that most people use, where they have 60% stocks in their portfolio, 40% bonds, and that's 90% of investments in the world. That's what people's portfolios look like, because 90% of investors are what we call passive investors, whereby a bank, the company that they're working for or whatever, will do that for them with their pension. BlackRock are saying the 60-40 is dead, and they're saying people need to switch to now an 80-20. So 80% stocks, 20% bonds. Whereas a paper came out a while ago, which I posted. We went through this paper a year ago, and it was from Grayscale. They were saying it should actually be 70-20-10. Now, just you can see the allocations here. Just 1% allocation of Bitcoin in your portfolio. So you can see it dramatically improves your overall your portfolio dramatically. Now, I think it's not even going to just be 1% Bitcoin. I think they're going to recommend 1% of your portfolio should be Bitcoin, 1% of your portfolio should be altcoins. Because if you've got, let's say, for example, you've got $1,000, right? And you've got 1% of your portfolio in an altcoin, or £1. So so 1% would be £10, right? And you put £1 in 10 different altcoins. If those altcoins all go and do a 10x off that £1, that's £1,000. Your whole portfolio has gone up 10% off £1 on 10 different things. Now, I'm giving you this metaphor because that's the small money thinking. That's us, because we're the minnows. But these guys are going to be doing that in the billions. So,
or hundreds of billions, to be completely honest.
Exactly. So a little 1%. If you've got 100 billion and you're putting 1% into 1% of that into altcoins. So 1% of 100 billion is 1 billion, and you're putting a billion into altcoins, and you split that billion into 10 different altcoins, 100 million in each altcoin, and you get a 10x. What you made? You made 10 billion.
Yeah.
See, when you enlarge the numbers, you start thinking like an institution. This game is crazy what they're planning, and that's why I think they're trying to limit it at 2%. Because if these institutions start doing anything more than 2%, it gives the game away.
Yeah, they start They start openly buying up the whole supply, and then it's more centralized. So they have to kind of phase it in to kind of give you the illusion that you can potentially get a relevant stake in comparison to them. But yeah, very interesting that those size institutions are now coming out and publishing these documents. And it's not just them. You know, if you look at the London Stock Exchange, they're looking at crypto, Web3 and metaverse recruitment. All the major institutions, as well as in America as well, like these are government institutions, they are recruiting for crypto and publishing crypto documents and letters. So it's kind of
you have to. If you are a company and you are not doing that, your company is in trouble. If you work in finance and you are not doing that, you're in trouble. Again, I'm just gonna put a little thing that I put on my Twitter.
It's facts. The soundbite needs to be had. Fintech is eating the world.
There was an interview with the CEO of BlackRock that happened at something called Dealbook. Again, please go and search it. Just put BlackRock CEO Dealbook. Go and listen to that interview. It's technically the most powerful man in the world. He's way more powerful than Elon Musk, way more powerful than most Saudi sheikhs. This guy owns a percentage in pretty much every company on the stock market. This guy owns, like, he's the CEO of everything. Now, he said the most exciting thing that's going to be happening in the next couple of years is the tokenization of assets, mainly stocks. So what's coming? We know tokenized stocks. And then guess who else also said something similar? The CEO of Goldman Sachs in this home or office. I was trying to share my screen, but it didn't work. The CEO of Goldman Sachs said the exact same thing. So I'm going to post that link so everyone can watch it. Now, if the CEO of Goldman Sachs and the CEO of BlackRock is saying the thing they're the most excited about is tokenized stocks because of settlement. Now, what is settlement? It means that they can then settle movements of liquidation and purchase of stocks in seconds. If you are, again, think institution. If you've got billions of pounds, yeah, you've got 100 billion to play with. Bear in mind, these guys have got 9 trillion to play with. Do you want to wait 3 days for your stock sale to go through? No.
No. Knowing that there's a system that can make it instantaneous and frictionless and more cost effective as well. And that you can actually profit from owning. It's, yeah.
So it's an obvious play. Like, why would you not do that?
It makes sense.
So the next year and a half, this is what we're going to see start running. And this is why I'm telling people it was important before to understand the stock game and crypto more than ever. This next year, stocks and crypto are going to just start going like this.
Merging. Yeah. All while there's a financial crunch and squeeze on fiat, I reckon.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Because people are just going to hold assets. People aren't going to. It's going to be like people went back in the day when we used to trade cowrie shells. People are going to be able to go, oh, you know what? I'll buy this car off you. I'll buy your BM off you for 100,000 shares in Nike. That's what you're going to be able to do.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Send it like that.
You say, yeah, boom. I got this RFK NFT. You want it for your, you know what I mean?
Yep, just send it one time.
It's going to happen, man.
Because again, when it comes to large transfers via cash, guess what happens when you start doing large transfers via cash? It gets blocked.
The banks start flagging you. They start messing with your shit.
Yep. So yeah, man, watch out for that. I'm gonna post those 2 interviews in the group now for everyone.
Welcome, David, and welcome to our.
Just do that now. Yeah, man, that's me and my spiel. So that's the Goldman one. And then the BlackRock one, BlackRock deal book. 1 month ago.
Please welcome Andrew Ross.
Okay, here we go. And if you really, really deep these and what they're saying, boom, there you go, guys. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, so let's make our special guest. If you could make him co-host as well, that'd be amazing.
Boom.
I haven't prepared anything fancy, guys. I just got some general game as we've been talking about those big developments and announcements constantly, but there's going to be protocols that are involved with that, you know what I mean, and involved with that liquidity, involved with that value transfer. So it is fundamental to be aware of who and how and when are these transactions happening. You know, we've deeped it. If you actually go on direct.gov and type in Ethereum, you're seeing case studies and announcements from the UK government on Ethereum, and they're talking about Bitcoin. It's not financial advice, but it's just, you know, again, it's there for you to see what people are developing on, and they're telling you. So what networks are kind of helping scale and solve problems in the blockchain space. Now, if you're not aware of blockchain or how it operates, that's the first place you want to start in learning the basics and fundamentals of what a blockchain is, what a distributed ledger is, what a smart contract is, and then put together the pieces of where the value's been going historically, okay, because it does paint a picture. Not to say that past activity predicts future activity, but if we have looked at the cycles, it's been history repeated if we zoom out. If we actually zoom out on a super macro, now I'm going to take it deep, but has anyone invested in Bitcoin over a 5.5-year period and not been in profit?
I don't think it's possible.
It's impossible. And again, we've generally had the cycle of 3 years sideways or bulling and a year consistently down. And then maybe some sideways channeling, which is an accumulation zone, and then 3 years up again. So potentially we're in a nice actual opportunistic zone to get that information on these protocols and projects that are going to be getting regulation, getting that kind of 100 trillion liquidity and capital, because they are out there. What's your guys' take on that?
Yeah, bro, you're singing music to my ears, bro. Like, one of the things that we always talk about, shout out Maurice, shout out Real Vision, because they did the same thing, is understanding that most of the charts that you're looking at are not in a log scale. And we drum on about this all the time. The difference it makes when you look at a chart in log scale is terrifying, guys. Like, it's a different, it's a completely different chart. So I'm trying to find an example right now of, you know what, I'll just do it off CoinMarketCap and it'll show you like the actual trend that is actually happening with Bitcoin and with crypto in comparison to what we're told and what we believe and what we see. So let me just go on to CoinMarketCap.
The thing is, we live in a world where people will allow their cognitive bias to instill ignorance, to not look at the data and the facts and the stats. Like,
So,
always seek data, facts, and stats.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Again,
there's
trying to form an opinion.
This is how most people see what's going on with Bitcoin right now. Maximum that they'll go out to is a year. And they'll be like, oh my God, it's terrible. Oh no. Oh, it's useless. Get out of it. What they never do is, if in doubt, zoom out. Now, when you see this, it looks like Bitcoin's kind of gone sideways. It's gone up and now it's gone down. However, it's not on log scale. Now, the difference is this has a recency bias. So whatever's the most recent, it makes that seem larger than what's actually happened. So this chart is actually fake and is lying to you. What you want to see the real chart, you press log.
Yep.
There we go. That is the real Bitcoin chart. Now, to me, since 2014, that looks like an uptrend.
It's pretty obvious, isn't it? It is. And this is why we're talking about, you know, understanding the asset, because there is people who get into things without, you know, full comprehension of the asset, how it operates, how it appreciates or depreciates in that manner. But having the verifiability to actually see, and you can actually track Bitcoin nodes, you can actually verify transactions, you know what I mean? Again, you can be on the network yourself if you want. So currently, before things may change, or things may change in the future, but at the moment, these are things that give you access to do the extra research and due diligence. So you can be confident in your investment, if that's what you choose to do, you know? But log scale, zooming out, I mean, yeah, if you're in it for 4.5 years, categorically, you will be in profit at some point.
And you just got to think, would these institutions be buying up Bitcoin and releasing these ETFs and releasing all these things if they're not planning on buying it?
Again, nation states incorporating it into their reserve as their reserve currency. It's where we get in the signs. It's just, you know, the due diligence.
Without giving financial advice, we can't really say much more to you.
It's like, that's it, you know, again. And if you look at other companies who are actually companies now, but they have tokens, okay, this is, pay attention to companies who have tokens and their companies are expanding and growing rapidly.
Well, like Tesco Club Card, that's going to be, it has to become a crypto. of some
That
sort.
blockchain, all of your Sainsbury's, your
Nectar.
Tesco's, your Marks and Spencers, it's inevitable. And again, to have these value and these contracts, they're gonna have to use specific cryptos, you know, unless they're planning on building and developing their own chain and node system, which I highly doubt. They just build a set of smart contracts and deploy on a network that's already well distributed and established. So these are things that we're getting signals for now.
Mm-hmm.
Pay attention to the partnerships, pay attention to the announcements.
Well, Ridz, one thing that I want to dive into is you as an individual and your crypto journey, because like me, this is not your first bear market. This is a lot of people's first bear market. When is it you got into crypto for the first time?
I'd scare you now. This is, who's heard of BitConnect?
Oh
So
wow,
I know
you're
about
like
BitConnect.
that.
I famously lost 1.7 BTC in BitConnect.
You and me both, brother. You and me both, brother. And probably from that, you might have just said fuck Bitcoin, innit? Like fuck this for now.
No. I didn't say fuck Bitcoin. I knew it was my fault.
Me as well. But I was on the
platform.
ignorance of fuck Bitcoin. I'm not getting sucked again, basically. But I did what most people do the first time round. Get disheartened by lack of education. And again, that's what changes the narrative. It changes the mindset.
Oh,
the education does.
You need to tweet that bar so we can retweet it.
We got sound bites, man. We'll throw that out.
Yeah, we're gonna have to clip that up. That one's it's my responsibility to clip this week up anyway, so I'm gonna clip that one up. Don't get disheartened by miseducation. Oh.
You're serious, because it can happen. Like now, there's probably a lot of people who've been in crypto, let's say for over 6 months or a year, and don't have cold storage. After everything, after your Celsiuses, after your FTXs, after your Alamedas, it's like, get educated and protect yourself. And you can.
Guys, cold storage is the way. Let me just tell you guys, I lost money in Celsius. I lost money in FTX. Actually, I definitely lost money in Bitcoin. BitConnect, not Bitcoin. It's not Bitcoin's fault. BitConnect. I wasn't part of Mount Gox. That was too early. But as I said on social media the past few weeks, I lost my passport. I think like 5-6 weeks ago. It takes 10 weeks to get a new passport. Guys, today I got locked out of even my Swissborg account. Now, it's not Swissborg's fault that I got locked out. I think I pressed the wrong button or something, but I can't log back in till they scan my passport, which is still 5 weeks away. So it really is not your keys, not your crypto. Now, I do love Swissborg, but I now have no access to my Swissborg account, which has quite a bit of crypto in it for like 5 weeks. So
and this
really,
is again,
keep things minimum in a hot wallet, minimum. But yeah, have a cold storage where you really keep your long-term holdings, because
in fact, I'm gonna go one extra.
Go on.
If you've invested more than the price of a cold wallet, get a cold wallet. So
yeah, again,
a cold wallet costs £100 max. That's for a fancy one, yeah. If you're investing £1,000 and you don't want to take out the £100 insurance and you lose it, if you are investing 10k, 100k plus, and you don't have a cold wallet,
oh yeah,
that literally shows you don't care. That's literally you going, I don't care if I lose it. But the problem is, it's not if you lose it. The problem is the pain of regret is an immortal wound. In 10 years' time, that pain of knowing that you lost that just because of negligence, just because you was lazy.
That's what people don't have the retrospect for now. That's literally it.
It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt so bad. So please, guys, we say it every week. Go and get your cold storage. Go and protect yourself before you wreck yourself. Please, guys.
100%.
We're just trying to save you. We're just trying to save you from the pain.
But yeah, no, again, and that kind of learning the hard way helped me just understand that I was novice and that I did need help, guidance, support, and to embark on a journey of unlearning and relearning money and the financial system. And yeah, from there, again, didn't stop accumulating. And yeah, when the bull markets come, we did trade.
100. A question I gotta ask you, as a musician and someone that was in the early scene, like of the UK and UK culture, like UK grime, and is literally, it transcended. It was originally like black music, but it's transcended and it's become the sound of the UK, right?
Yeah, it's UK culture now. It is.
Yeah, it's UK culture. Like the dress code, everything, the talk, the lingo, it's UK culture. Now, American culture, investing's a part of it. Yeah. But UK culture, it just isn't. It's just not even. It's just not a thing. At all.
It's not. At the minute, it's hard for us over here, man. It is. It's hard. The tides are changing. People are getting more aware, but I think influence. It is people, again. Sometimes paying attention can actually pay you in the right. You know, you pay attention to the right things, it can pay you.
Chop that up, Mike. Jeez, boss.
It's serious. But again, it's failure to prepare, you're preparing to fail. So if you're not preparing for investments, if you're not preparing for structures and systems that are going to help you financially, then you're throwing yourselves to the wolves. And the government and the system are the wolves if we look at it as...
You know what? This brings me on to a point which Mr. Harding well commented on. There was a video on Instagram which basically the content is about encouraging more people to become artists, more people to become rappers, more people to become singers, because the music industry is quote unquote a hyper expanding industry. Mind you, in 2020, music industry sales and royalties subtotal 26 billion in revenue. In 2021, it grew from 26 to 28 billion, which sounds like a lot of billions, but it's not even 0.1 trillion, it's 0.03 trillion. Right.
Elon Musk has 10 times the amount. Like,
there's
individuals.
And that's an accumulation of all the music from the
UK. Music industry sales and royalties. So vinyl sales, Spotify, iTunes globally. Sales, and
that's revenue, not profit.
Yeah, and then Mr. Harding said something along the lines of, I believe he said something along the lines of, he believes that it's actually all this kind of like hip hop is a psyop for especially ethnic minorities, especially Black ethnic minorities, to misplace energy in towards chasing the rapper dream when really you're way more likely to be up as an investor. So
100%.
You might as well
100%.
Become a businessman investor who raps rather than
100%.
go 100% on the music, because I can tell you it doesn't pay off most of the time.
Yep. Now it paid off a little bit for the odd person.
Yeah, and it can do. It can do.
Yeah,
but again, we deep it like on a super macro. There's always systems that kind of enable those things. Yeah. It doesn't just happen. You know, someone would always kind of have the following base, have the network for producers or engineers, have the network for art. Visual artists, videographers, and it's the synergy between those things that enabled them to actually bust and get that following and grow, nurture that.
On that, the word that you just said there, bust and going clear, that's again, music makes us misread what it means to bust and what it means to go clear. Because in music, busting and going clear is 100K, a mil, 2 mil. If someone's made 10 mil in music, they've gone clear. And we often use the whole, oh yeah, but they came from a working class background, they came from the ends, whatever. At the end of the day, there's plenty of people that have become billionaires from the ends. That's gone clear.
100%. Probably more so than the other side of it. Yeah.
Fact. But
because
music,
more money's made in shadows.
Yeah.
Than,
and I saw a
limelight.
post on it the other day, and it was this guy from Goldman Sachs, and he was on Breakfast Club, and he was telling everyone on Breakfast Club, yeah, guys, the music industry is going to expand. It's a great time to get into it. It's going to go up to like maybe 100 billion. And I was like, bro, why are you gassing people about 100 billion when AI alone is going to do 10 trillion in the next 5 years?
Light work. Like AI is actually recording and releasing its own music now as well.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
So really, what he should have said is gone, look, guys, I'm going to leak you some information. If you're in music, what you want to do is you want to get into AI and music. Then you're going to go clear. Then you're going to bust. Then it's different. And then if you add a little bit of blockchain on top of that AI and music with blockchain,
your royalties, you'd be kicking it back. Yeah.
You're busting differently. But that's not what they're saying to people. They're saying to people, yeah, go release your little drill tracks and whatever, and you'll look, there's nothing wrong with that. Go do that. Yeah. But understand doing that isn't going to make you go clear and isn't going to make you go bust, because that's not where the money is flowing and where it's moving.
They wouldn't be looking at, like I'm saying, recruiting blockchain developers and Golang and Java and again Rust. Why would they be looking for these people at those labels if they wasn't trying to develop their own smart contracts and platforms that they're going to get their artists to deploy on? So again, they're still going to be the kind of middleman if you look at it like that, unless you get your developers, you get your synergy with,
Listen, every rapper, R.I.P. Nipsey Hussle, needs a CTO, needs a technical director. Yeah,
Boom.
Literally. Nipsey Hussle is one of the first to do it. Who's that guy who we love? The tech guy.
The dreads. I know his name. Hold up. Not
Idris
Sandu. That's it.
Yeah, Sandu.
Idris Sandu. Yeah, Idris Sandu. Originally Nipsey Hussle CTO.
Spattle Labs, top tier guy, man.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah. That's what the music industry needs, and that's why we got people like myself, Ridz, Shuriken Sounds. We got Shuriken Sounds meeting. You know what? Yeah, 2023. Let's quickly talk about collaboration. I love the bear market because not many assets that Tom, Dick, and Harry are speculating are flying up. It allows the real soldiers and the real snipers to build. 2023 is where there's less noise and there's more silence. So you can build partnerships, right? So let's quickly go over this. Ridz, in less than 2 minutes, could you tell everybody what you're doing right now inside and outside of the blockchain? Because you got a real estate company as well. You do 7 figures on that side. So and then tell them how you cashed out and then put it into other assets, and what your plan is to sell those assets and then get back in the
diversification, guys. So like I said, again, we can get caught in this up forever cycle mentality when you are getting that extreme euphoria, but when you have to actually realize numbers and stick to your plan and execute. So I, as I said, got in the market quite early and did manage to cash out quite a bit. That enabled me and my friends and family to kind of re-diversify into other assets. I chose property. A lot chose property as well, and businesses involving property. So there is Airbnbs that I've got abroad running, and a property over here that is just local rent with the council. But again, it's secured rent, it's guaranteed, and these are systems that are just guaranteeing yield and income and securing the capital that is not in the market in a volatile situation at the moment. Okay, so that diversification is a necessity, but then still having the option to get back in the market with income, still having business revenues, like I do consulting, I do project development, I do community management and one-to-one advisory on business development. So having multiple streams of income is kind of something that can give you that freedom and diversification in itself. But that all comes from basic fundamentals of studying asset classes, knowing your budgets, what you're working with, and sticking to the plan. And again, it's not an overnight process. I'm not telling anyone any get rich quick schemes. I've been investing consistently for over 7.5 years, but I have been working for gone 15 years prior to that. So it is building.
Let everyone know that for 15 years you had a job, right? As in you had some
job,
kind of
job,
income.
job in the trenches. Like
Yes,
started as a
15
trolley
years.
boy in Sainsbury's.
And
I've done
you've only
sales.
been free. You've only been free for like 2-3 years, right?
Coming up to my 3rd year, completely free. And again, this is
No. We need a round of applause. We need cameras and round of applause.
Unplugged.
Come on, man. I'm out.
Come on,
It's not a rat race thing
15
anymore.
years of working,
Yeah,
7.5 years of investing.
It's serious.
And in your fifth year investing, that's when you were free. But people want gains overnight. This guy
people want gains
years.
last week. They want gains last week. They want to invest today, and why couldn't I cash out yesterday?
This is the thing with the time and patience. When you read the books and you understand, it's almost impossible for you to not fail if you do the right things over a 10.
That is it.
Just 10 years of your life in comparison to working until you're 75.
But people can easily be caught and trapped in that cycle because it's sort of, again, not to say that working's bad because it's not, but you have to know what you're working for.
Yes.
And that's the key. You know, you can use a job and you can gain leverage and insight to how that company sets up its organization, how it distributes power, you know, what are the legal parameters of that business. You've gained knowledge from that job, say, and you can take that, move and deploy that as your self entity.
Can I give some very, very practical advice, which I feel like would apply to a lot of people? So this is to all my employees, whether you work full-time or part-time, or you do freelance agency work. This is what I encourage everyone to do. Whatever job you have, I encourage you to do as much as you can to study its business models, what part of the business structure you like and agree with, which parts of the business you disagree and would hypothetically improve upon if you had your own business, and apply those to your own business. Because guess what? The biggest secret about business and entrepreneurship is once you learn the fundamentals of business and entrepreneurship, it applies across the board. Whether you own a corner shop or a crypto company or a car garage or an e-commerce company, it's basically finding customers and clients with problems and money and connecting them with the product and or service solution for the price that they are willing to buy at, and then upscale that.
100.
That is it.
Also, guys, I'm going to put this straight out here. Yeah. At the moment, Bitcoin's at 16. I was hoping it would get down to 12, and I was praying it will get down to 8. Guys, if this gets down to 8, you are going to see me doing the maddest shifts everywhere, bro. You're going to see me doing Ubers. You're going to see me at your local taxi joint. You're going to see me at your local Asda. You're going to see me in the butchers. You're going to see me everywhere,
a lifetime back down at 8, I'll tell you that.
Bro, I am working 150-hour weeks, bro, whilst working online in a call center, because I am going to be I'm going to do whatever it takes to be making an extra 8 grand a week to be buying a Bitcoin a week. That
makes sense.
I'm putting it out there because, yo, if we see them, if the market goes below a certain point,
and you know it won't hold there for too long either. So
exactly. So
one thing I do want to add, we've heard a couple miners have been bailed out, right? a couple big miners have been bailed out, right?
Yep.
So you see when miners generally need bailing out, that's one signal for the capitulation of the bottom. I'm not saying that it is the bottom, but it's a light signal that we've seen in the past, as I'm talking about how the 3 years up, 1 year down.
Yeah.
It happened the last time. So again, it's all just a little bit of history repeated. And if you can sit back and enjoy the ride, that's what you'll do.
Hear that. Crypto Boss says, I'm renting out my 3-bedroom to go live with my mums if it hits 9K.
It makes sense. It sounds crazy, but it
would make sense. It sounds crazy, but the amount that right there, the money that you could put back into Bitcoin will buy you another house to go do it again.
And that's it. Literally, that's another deposit. You sit back, you wait a year and a half, 2 years, but make sure again when you do get to your thresholds, it's not up forever. There will be corrections, there will be pullbacks. You take profits accordingly. I do preach it. But again, think of the longer macro outlook.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we got loads of new people in the room.
Yeah, let's get some questions.
Let's get some questions. Has anybody got any questions? Type them in the chat.
I want to pick at people. So Xavier, this is my homie Xavier. Big ups to Xavier because he supports my music a lot. And also, just before Christmas, he was doing some charity work at his local food bank in Leighton and dropped me off loads of scran. So big ups to Xavier. Xavier, have you got a question for Ridz? Hopefully he's not the gym or something.
Or any thoughts or feedback on today's episode, or your favorite bit of today's episode.
Xavier doesn't answer. We'll move over to the next person. 5, 4. Okay, Xavier's not there. Trina.
Oh, we've got a hand up as well. Trina,
hand up, go.
What's good? Trina, what's your favorite bit of today's episode? What's the game that you took today? Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, we'll go into.
Let's go to Rara.
Hiya.
Hiya.
So, yeah, my question for all of you really. So, when do you reckon the market is going to dip again to those crazy 8K Bitcoin? I don't know if you said that. I don't think I missed it. But when do you think that's roughly going to happen?
Let me pull up. Let me just do the little TATA. Hold up. Let me just pull this up and show you what my calculations were. I've literally just completely refreshed all my charts as well, just so I could redo my TA and make sure that I am seeing the same thing. Because if I see it multiple times after doing it, then boom. All right, cool. So let me pull this up right now. So this is what I'm seeing. Overall, I'm definitely seeing that this is a support area right here around the 15,000 mark. And you can see we bounced off that and we've just been moving sideways. You can see we had this downward trend here. Let's just peek this over here. Now that would mean that we'd get a descended wedge here and we would spike out in June 23 if we went this way. But I don't think that's going to happen. Unfortunately, I think something's going to happen in January. Now, why do I say January? I say January because when you go to the log scale on this and you zoom out. I don't know if you can do it on this one. Does this one go as far back as 2008? No, this one doesn't go as far back as 2008. But there's Bitcoin charts that let you go back as far as 2008. And you can see that we're actually slap bang on a trend line. Like right now, like perfectly right now, that would end exactly in January. So in January, by the end of January, January the 31st, we're either going to have a massive movement up to the upside or some kind of black swan's going to come along. And that's when we would move down. The moment we break this 15,000 mark, the next level is here at 12. As you can see there. Very unlikely we break the 12 because we can see this has been a major resistance level. So that means there's bare institutional buying levels there. There's bare whales that've got buy orders around that 12 mark. But lo and behold, a significant event happens, which is we hit the 12, and then confiscated Bitcoin gets put back on the market. Then we're going to 8. Now, we're actually due some confiscated Bitcoin to get put back on the market, which is the I think it's
Mt. Gox.
Yep, some of the Mt. Gox Bitcoin is due to come back on the market. So if we don't go up in end of Jan, and we go down into this area here, around around the 12K mark, I'm 90% sure that Mt. Gox Bitcoin is going to come on. That Mt. Gox Bitcoin will come on. We'll have some other Black Swan event. Boom, 8. That's the narrative and the spec, all theory, but I've got a bit of a track record. Yeah, some things I say that are very wild and speculative tend to come true. So we'll see. But I just think 8K Bitcoin is just too dumb of a price. Like, it's actually like, it's a weird psychological level that 99% of people would not touch it, because they'd be like, it's over. Because of that, because of how strong that 12K line is right here, most people, if it goes below that, they're out, they're done, forget it, it's not for me. Whereas if people understand the fundamentals, that it's just that Mt. Gox has put whatever's on the table, and there's a bit of FUD happening with whatever Black Swan random event happens,
random market manipulation, which you know,
yeah, just some stuff. Then yeah, that's when we're going here, and yeah, that's my kind of views and thoughts on it. So timeline wise, February if we're lucky, but because the quadruple witchings happen in March, between February and the end of March is when I would say, if we're lucky, it'll go to 8, but don't count on it.
Well, so what do you recommend? Do you recommend DCAing from now or holding off?
That's financial advice, but me personally, I'm DCAing right now, the whole time. Like, the moment that we've been out, we publicly said get out of Bitcoin in November 2021. Not financial advice. We declared it. We showed that we're selling it all. And then from then, a couple of us have been running shorts on Bitcoin all the way down. And now that we're here at this level, the moment we hit here in October, November, the DCAing begins. So that's for us personally. You can do whatever you want, whatever you feel is a good strategy. But if you look into the stats of dollar cost averaging, it works phenomenally in people's favor. Yeah. What's dollar cost averaging for the complete newbies? That is just having a set amount that just goes into it. You don't care what the price is. You're just like, there we go. It's going in. It's going in. It's going in.
It tends to work better in a bear market as well. That can be a soundbite for people.
Yeah. So amazing question. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next, Alex, what's up, homie?
Evening, gents.
What's good?
Evening.
I want your thoughts on the DXY currently. I mean, it's currently sitting at the 103 level. Do you reckon it will probably come down to around the low hundreds, then maybe go for a double top again, or do you reckon it will rebound from where it?
This DXY, this old DXY. Again, we've got to understand why this is so important for crypto. A lot of people don't realize the value of the dollar is important for crypto because it makes operational costs of mining Bitcoin more expensive, because everybody in the world does everything in dollars. If it used to cost you $100 per hour per mining rig you had, and you had 1,000 mining rigs, that's what, £10,000 an hour you were paying, right? if the dollar index goes up to 110, that's an extra 100. That's an extra £10 you're paying per mining rig, which added up is a lot of money. Let's say, for example, you're a developer and you're running a blockchain and you've got an exchange or whatever, and you were paying people 100K a year. The dollar's gone up. Now you're paying people 110K a year. What you got to do? You got to lay some people off. Yo, you got to trim the fat. So again, people are like, oh, these companies are laying people. That's a good thing. They have to. So this is why it's a great question that you've asked that. It's so important to understand. People think that the price of the dollar doesn't affect crypto. It does, because it affects everything.
Heavily correlated with every global currency.
Everything. Like, so until people start getting their wages paid in Bitcoin, like, and especially in the countries that make stuff, the hardware and do the graphic design and whatever, like we're seeing in the Philippines, until you see the Philippines and India getting paid in Bitcoin, the dollar's important, pretty much. Now, in terms of where this can go, we can see that there's a massive support line here, and it's marked off red, because if we break this here, if we break this little bad boy here, we are going to go into a death spiral down. Now, this death spiral is something that Michael Burry and Cathie Woods from ARK Invest are saying that is going to happen. Now, people
have been calling it for ages.
Yeah, people would think if the value of the dollar comes crashing down now, that would be a great thing. However, if it comes down too fast, it also causes a problem. So the Fed is stuck in between a rock and a hard place. They can't move left and raise, and they can't go they can't go down, because it'll mean that, especially after Christmas, a lot of people are going to be in trouble. And this is why I'm very very concerned about the end of January. And if we do have anything to happen, it's going to happen end of January, because all the earnings are going to come out from these companies, and we're going to see if, again, what Cathie Woods has been saying is true. Have companies managed to actually get rid of their stock? Because there's companies that still got their stock from lockdown that they've been trying to get rid of, whether it's car manufacturers, whether it's whatever. So the Fed is going to have to do something if people are just doing mad, crazy discounts on everything. It's a problem. So then what would happen? We would do a death spiral all the way down to 93, which would actually trigger an additional recession on top of what we've been through, because apparently we haven't been through a recession, even though, I don't know, even though
multiple quarters down,
even though there's
negative, like, quarter on quarter, negative, but yeah,
it's a year of going down, but it's not a recession. Okay, whatever then. But yeah, so to answer your question, quite long-winded answer, you got me in my feels about this, because I've been watching it sharply. The best thing that would happen would actually be that we go back up. It's not what people want, but the best thing for everybody right now in the long-term macro is that the dollar actually does keep either stable or goes back up. So that's what I'm hoping. However, unfortunately, if we look at where the RSI is right now, this
it's
thing
looking like it's going to bounce up.
It's looking like it's going to bounce up. So
yeah, it's going to bounce up into that channel.
Yeah, it's just look at it.
See,
like this
dumpsters.
When, like, if you look back on the history, there's not really an RSI movement like this. So some black swan event is due. Someone's going to let the black swans out the cage. So be prepared, guys. January 31st. Great question. I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Very good. We've got a question here. KG, Rid's statement of who has invested in Bitcoin over a 5-year period and has a profit was my favorite part. I'm one of his students who lacks with consistency and goes missing on him at times, but even I've heavily profited when in the bull market. I'm one of the many who's been discouraged by lack of education and consistency. Still here though. That's it, man.
Still
stay
here.
here.
That's it.
Stay here.
That's it, man.
You stay here until you retire. And apparently we're meant to be retiring when we're 75. So
fuck that. I'm out.
So it looks like a lot of us are going to be here for a while if we're not taking this seriously. So I'm pretty sure most people that attend the game and that have got mentors like Ridz, you're not going to be here until you're 75. Worst case scenario, you'll be in the matrix until for another 10, maximum 20 years. In comparison,
20 too long. Yeah, 20 too long. The amount of adoption that's going to happen in the next 20 years between AI and blockchain development, with what is happening in fintech globally, it's just inevitable, guys.
It's crazy. Let's get another question. Our favorite crypto boss, what are you saying, broski? You always got an interesting question for us.
How are we saying, guys? How things? For me, I was just listening to, well, usually the game always gives you value and game. When he was talking about being uninformed, it's a very bad thing. Because for instance, like people have been, telling about crypto. Everybody is calling me, asking me about what is happening to crypto. I'm like, nothing. It's just an exchange. Everybody is confused with FTX. They think FTX is crypto, and that's not a good thing because many exchanges have fell, and Bitcoin is still here, Ethereum is still here. So being uninformed is a really bad thing. But people like to bandwagon whether it's good or bad. Whether it's good, yeah, we going with it. When it's bad, I told you so. So for me, I'm gonna be more selective in who I, try to talk to this year, and just keep, investing every month, guy.
Keep learning. Investing isn't just monetary. Investing, you know what I mean?
Mind.
True.
Let me just add to that. So one of my favorite quotes from Wall Street Trapper is, when you change the conversation, you change the compensation. Now, I've had a very, very good New Year's Eve, which I won't go into during this YouTube live because that's for a private conversation. But what I can say is that I noticed that the majority of the room was not speaking about high level things. The general conversation was, did Tory shoot Meghan, Kanye, Kim, relationships, like basically the kind of thing that doesn't make you any money. 2023 has got to be about cash flow conversations and purchasing assets at cheap prices and collaborations, partnerships. That's what it needs to be. Because in the next bull market, best believe myself, Mr. Harding, Keish, Blockchain Sensei have equity in a lot of unicorns right now. Guys, there is a book which I highly recommend. Shout out to Alex from our partner Simplicity Consultancy. It's called 0 to 1 by Peter Thiel, who's one of the original PayPal mafias, along with Elon Musk, etc. There's an excerpt halfway through the book which teaches that in 2005, there was a graffiti artist who did the original paintings for Facebook walls, mainly for free, if not completely for free, mind you, except for equity. By 2019-ish, 14 years later, those shares were worth $200 million. The person who owns 0.01% of Apple, so that's 1/10,000th of the company, 1/100th, is also worth $200 million benchmark. So
think long, guys. Think long. That's it. Long, equity, ownership,
and this is why you should develop in the bear market. But yeah, back on the conversation and compensation. We regularly at Blockchain Sensei pretty much every single day talk about equity. Every single day we talk about investments, equity, partnerships, business relations, meetings, agendas, strategies, executions on repeat. And that is basically the majority of our conversation. So if you change what you speak about, you are almost guaranteed success.
Yeah, man. We've got a question here that is definitely financial advice. What are the top 3 coins you would suggest a novice you could invest in? If you could name all your top 3 choices, please. I'm not going to name the top 3 choices that are my 3 choices. I'm going to name someone else's top 3 choices. Now, this isn't financial advice. If I name Ninja's top 3 that I think is his top 3, I personally think Ninja's top 3 are Bitcoin, Litecoin, Engine, ETH, Polkadot. That's what I personally think.
Yeah, the top three.
yeah. So top 3, sorry, yeah. Ninja, what do you think my top 3 are that wouldn't be financial advice, or top 5?
Yeah, okay, that is quite interesting. I think, and I can neither confirm nor deny if those 5 coins are in my top positions, but that's just Mr. Harding's opinion, and he's never actually, even as my business partner, personally seen my entire portfolio in its entirety. But I think Mr. Harding's top holdings include, but are limited to, Ethereum, Cardano, Polkadot. What else is in your submissions? Not actually too sure. I definitely know you've got some flow, but yeah, that's all I can say. For me personally, I'm going to tell you guys that I am balancing out my portfolio and making Bitcoin very, very big, just because I like to feel a level of safety in this bear market.
Now, some people may notice that I've not directly answered any questions, but I've just shown a watch list of things that are
you're watching.
That's a nice watch. Because I'd have thought you'd have definitely had a bit of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, maybe in the lows, some Ripple. I thought it might have been in there. I just
is that what you would have thought?
Yeah,
that's interesting that you would have thought that. To be fair, that's interesting. I can't confirm or deny. I can't.
I can't confirm or deny if I've got any XRP, but if you do get any XRP, there is an XRP wallet called XUMM.
One thing I will confirm, I love using XRP though. I love using it. It's definitely I use it all the time. If I'm taking money out of any platform, XRP is quick send.
It makes sense. Instantaneous.
No long.
The best for sending, the one, definitely. And
again, pay attention. We're going to throw it back. Pay attention to these institutions and these partnerships. It's not financial advice, but a lot of institutions have established partnerships with a lot of protocols.
There's one that the head of the SEC, Gary Gensler, keeps talking about. He keeps talking about his friend that was a lecturer at MIT who has a project called Algorand. He keeps mentioning it.
Just keeps mentioning that.
Yeah, he's mentioning that one. It's a bit odd, isn't it?
A bit crazy that. Algo.
Yeah, it's a bit mad. I don't know why he would keep mentioning it like that.
Wow.
One of them ones. But that would be financial advice if we was to mention it.
No, because we're not Coinbase. We didn't seed and invest in Algo. Yeah.
So that's what it is.
and Ian Dunlap, the master investor, has mentioned Algorand as well multiple times. But what would he know?
I know, and he has also mentioned Cardano, but he probably wouldn't know anything either because he's not a financial advisor.
No.
Yeah. So, but yeah, go and do your research on everything that we just said, and definitely watch this episode back. And you might, I might have accidentally shown my portfolio on the screen. I forgot to blur it out, but I'm gonna get that done in the edit. So hopefully the editor does a good job, and then it won't be financial advice. So yeah, that's that. I think we're gonna wrap up there before I get myself in any more trouble with the authorities, the financial authorities. Unless, Alex, have you got your hand up for another question?
No, I haven't. Sorry.
Oh, no worries. Okay.
Actually, can I just share a quick story before we go? Yeah. Because guys, this year it's all about action. Okay, anyone who's been riding with us since 2021, come on, you're educated enough. It's time for action, right? Alex Codlin is an action man. We've only known Alex for a short period of time. I'm talking like since December 2022. Mr. Harding met Alex at where did you meet him again?
Real Vision meetup.
Amazing, yeah, there. So, and then in late December, around Christmas time, he did an Instagram post saying, DM me the word ninja for a free portfolio review and consultation. About 7 to 8 people messaged me, but for whatever reason, about 2 to 3 people are still to reply to me. So maybe they don't want that consultation. But anyway, I was supposed to be on call with Alex for maximum 30 minutes. Alex, how long was I on call with you for?
I think it was about 2 hours in the end.
About 2 hours. Have I gave you the replay or not yet?
No, not yet.
You got your money's worth.
Yeah, he didn't pay. He didn't pay. Like he actioned and booked me. So so it's not about payment. But what's even greater than that is I found out that Alex's day job is literally 2 or 3 DLR stops from the office, and he's going to be doing his first intern day sometime this month.
Oh, sick.
Did you even know that?
I didn't even know that.
Well done, Alex.
Right.
That's mad.
So
I can't believe it. I'm in shock.
Oh, yeah, you're gonna get some mad game in that office, bro.
Yeah, like, I told Alex, yeah, one of the biggest plays, and I'll say this publicly again, the blockchain sensei has, and this is why you should read Peter Thiel's 0 to 1, is that he could be 0.1% to 0.5%, maybe one day 1% owner in blockchain sensei if he puts the work in. If he ends up coming in the office twice a week for 6 months, why not?
Makes sense. Before we go, Ninja, can you drop that AI post on the
on the IG?
Yeah.
I don't know. Where's the content?
It's just the picture with the hand.
Yeah, but where's the original picture?
On WhatsApp.
1 second.
I'm gonna share. You know what? I'm gonna give away a freebie right now. Wait, let me find it. Where is it? Give me a second, guys. I'm giving away a freebie.
Is it the future of AI tools? Because it says book now. It doesn't say DM.
Yeah. Put that, and then we'll just say to people to DM.
Okay, fine.
Oh wait, I put a new one that says DM.
Did you put a link or did you put the picture?
I think it's in the Gmail drive.
Or the Gmail drive.
Yeah,
what content to post?
Yeah, no, just in recents. In the meantime, before we all go, I got a freebie for you related to AI. Boom! I wasn't even gonna give this away, but I'm giving it away just because it's the first week of the month. First of the year. Oh no, that I just sent that directly to DJ. Sorry about that, DJ. This is for everyone. It's not. You're lucky, but you're not that lucky this time. So here we go, guys. This right here, not only is it a link to a presentation on AI, which I'll just quickly pull up right now. Not only is it that, anyone that uses this link will get access to the 10 tools to use. We will give you one-on-one training on how to use ChatGPT, access to superhuman email, training on Quillbot, training on DALL-E 2, and this little cheeky one here, which is this person does not exist, which this person is not real. It's a website that does, but yeah, every time you refresh the page, it brings up another face that isn't actually a human being. Just thought I would leave you with the food for thought about.
Okay, so
Instagram.
the IG post is there now if you want to share your screen.
Yeah, and it's funny because this whole entire presentation that I've just shown you, guess what? Guess who made it? AI.
AI. This is the future, guys.
So yeah, if you think that'd be of use to you, your workplace, anyone you know, let us know. And yeah, if you just comment on the Instagram with hashtag AI on this post, Yeah, the one with the hand. We will be happy to give you that session for £50 instead of. Is it sharing my screen? Did it share?
Yeah, it popped up.
Yeah, you'll get access to 10 tools and one-on-one training on how to use ChatGPT and DALL-E, because they're not actually as simple as you think to get the most out of them.
It takes a minute.
We've been using it. We've been deep in on this stuff for a while. Thank you everyone for joining in. Really appreciate you. Love. Thank you very much. And we'll see you next week.
All right, guys, every Monday, 8 p.m. to 9:30. Please message Blockchain Sensei for any collaborations. We have hella subsidiaries now, including but not limited to a new recruitment company, which we won't name the name because we don't want to jinx it. But yeah, we'll get into blockchain recruitment. We have a meeting with Ridz about blockchain recruitment in a few days, actually. On the same day, I'm having a meeting with Ridz about Shuriken Sounds. And the same week, I'm going to have a different conversation with him about something else. So collaborate, build your tribe, build your partnerships, build your cash flow streams. Let's get through this bear market. See you guys on Friday for NFT Friday.